Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Geeks 911 show. I'm your host, Geeks. Now, today I'm going to be talking about HR 7795, Veterans Benefits Fairness and Transparency Act of 2020. Okay, this is the House of Representatives bill that was brought about by, let me go ahead and get his name here, Andy Barr and Elaine Luria. Okay, these are the two sponsors of the bill. Okay. And let me go ahead and read this bill so that you have an understanding exactly what they are sponsoring for us, the veteran. HR 7795 would require the Department of Veterans Affairs to make disability benefits questionnaires available on the department's website. DBQs are standardized forms used by physicians when performing examinations that are used to determine veterans' eligibility for disability compensation. Disability compensation is a monthly cash benefit paid to veterans who have disabilities or diseases that have been determined to be connected to the military service. Okay. The bill also would require VA to accept earlier versions of DBQ forms and would require VA's Inspector General to report annually on the use of DBQs until 2027. DBQs are available to the department's. DBQs are available on the department's website until 2020. And the department maintains electronic versions of the forms. Further, VA already accepts previous versions of DBQs when it processes claims for disability compensation. On the basis, CBO estimates that implementing those requirements would cost less than $500,000 over the 2025 period. Okay, so is this about money? Is this what it's about? Is this about money? Is this why it has not went through the Senate yet? But we'll get on to that. On the basis of the cost of similar reports, CBO estimates satisfying the bill's reporting requirement would cost less than $500,000. In total, implementing HR 7795 would cost less than $500,000 over the 2020-25 period. Such spending would be subject to the availability of appropriated funds. Okay, so this is about money. This is really sad and unfortunate. It's about money. It's not even about the veterans' rights to have those DBQs to present their evidence of injuries they incurred while in service. Okay. So if this is about money, we need to find out the people that are representing us and making this possible for us to get our DBQs back. Okay. Because right now, from what I read and from what I understand, unless somebody in the comment section can, otherwise tell me something different, is that we are no longer, as a veteran, able to have these DBQs in hand and hand it to a third party practitioner or a physician. Okay. This is what's been implemented, and only the VA is allowed to handle these forms and process them. Okay. So in my sense, if the VA has total control, where's the veterans' control? Okay. They're totally controlling the narrative here. Okay. But anyway, this is what this Veterans Benefit Fairness and Transparency Act is doing, is protecting us, protecting our DBQs, giving us the ability to use those DBQs and provide and give them to our third party practitioners or doctors. Okay. And this is what we need. We need to have access to this information so that the narrative is not in one place. Okay. So again, I'm going to show you who sponsored this bill, Andy Barr, and you can read a little bit more about Andy Barr here. Okay. And exactly what he stands for. And by the way, check out this video that he did in front of the Senate, I believe, when he presented this bill. Check this out. To have my bill, HR 7795, the Veterans Benefits Fairness and Transparency Act of 2020, before the House of Representatives today. I would like to thank my good friend, Ranking Member Rowe, for his support of this legislation, and would especially like to thank my colleague across the aisle and chair of the Disability and Memorial Affairs Subcommittee, Representative Elaine Luria, for co-leading this bipartisan legislation with me. I appreciate Representative Luria's leadership on this issue. This bill is vitally important because it will restore access for veterans and their representatives to the disability benefits questionnaires forms previously available on the VA's public website. Our veterans use these forms to submit evidence to the VA for their disability claims until the VA removed them in April of this year in the middle of the pandemic.
I don't know what to do about the depression and the inflation and the Russians and the crime in the street. All I know is that first, you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it. My life has value.
Making it harder for veterans to submit their evidence and get the benefits owed to them. The idea for this legislation was brought to me by a member of Kentucky's 6th Congressional District Veterans Coalition, Chief Warrant Officer Denny Hart.
Is the impetus for a bill that is now headed to the president's desk to be signed into law, and it's going to make it easier for veterans to file disability claims with the VA. Kenneth Gillam's claims were delayed by the VA. He was frustrated, ready to give up. That's until a fellow veteran, Denny Hart, got involved.
The Gillams wanted to give up, which is the story of a lot of veterans. They give up. They just give up. I wasn't about to let that happen because I saw a family with a lot of pain, a lot of problems.
Hart got Congressman Andy Barr's office involved. That ultimately led to the legislation that passed and now will benefit veterans everywhere.
I know Mr. Hardy is a good patriotic man, and he continues to serve our country by helping other veterans file their disability claims with the VA. However, after the VA removed these forms from being publicly available, they effectively shut out Mr. Hart and others from assisting our veterans. There were only 11 VA contract examiners in the 6th District of Kentucky in January of this year. Now, to their credit, the VA has increased the number of those contract examiners, probably because of this legislation. But until we have the assurances that a sufficient number of VA contract examiners are able to assist all of the veterans with their disability claims, we need public-facing DBQs. My legislation gives the VA additional manpower to process a veteran's DBQ by maintaining the ability of veterans' own provider to fill out the form. This is something vital to veterans in rural communities who may be far from a VA medical center or a contract examiner. Furthermore, our proposal prevents veterans from having their disability claim delayed or denied because the VA changed their DBQ form during the application process without the veteran knowing. During this pandemic, we must ensure our veterans' disability claims process is not paused or compromised solely due to a change in a bureaucratic form. We must protect veterans from unnecessary burdens while securing benefits owed to them. No veteran should be denied the disability benefits to which he or she is justly entitled solely because a DBQ is not publicly available or because the VA changed the form in the middle of the process. This is common sense legislation supported by multiple veteran service organizations such as the Disabled American Veterans, the Paralyzed Veterans of America, Minority Veterans of America, Iraq and Afghanistan Veterans of America, and more. I urge my colleagues to support this bipartisan legislation and restore this vital resource for our nation's heroes. Thank you, and I yield back.
Gentleman from Tennessee.
All right, I hope you enjoyed that video. Now you can see who Andy Barr really is and what he stands for, okay? Along with Representative Elaine Luria, okay? These two are fighting for our rights as we speak, okay? This bill has been passed as of December 2020, okay? And I'll show you how it was passed and where it was passed. Here's a website. Now, here's a website for everybody, okay? Go ahead and bookmark this website, all right? And this is going to give you all the legislations that we are currently fighting for as veterans, okay, and as service members, okay. Here's continue to combat suicide among troops and veterans. This has a multitude of information. Now, I want to get down to the bill that I'm currently focused on, okay. So I'm going to do a Control F to find that bill, okay. And this one is the Veterans Benefit. Once I type it in, here it is. The Veterans Benefits Fairness and Transparency Act. I'm going to go ahead and click on it. Okay. Now I want you to go ahead and highlight and bookmark this page as well. Okay. Because this is going to be very, very important. Okay. Congress.gov website is very important for finding bills that are currently going through the Senate, in the House, and so forth. Okay. So here is the bill. Here's the person that sponsors it, is sponsoring it. Okay. Has his name here, Andy Barr, introduced on April of 2020. Okay. And it was the latest action as of September of 2020 was referred to the Subcommittee of Disabilities Assistance and Memorials. So you know what you do here? You go ahead and highlight this, okay? And you do a search on the Subcommittee on Disabilities Assistance and Memorial Affairs, okay? And I did that already. And this is what I came up with here. The House Committee on Veterans Affairs, okay? And the chairman for that is Mark Takano, okay? Now, what I did to find out more about that bill is I went here, and as you can see, it's already put in here. Okay, and I did a search. Okay, I want to find if this bill was passed in the House. And of course, here we go. It was passed. House unanimously passes 6 bipartisan bills for veterans. Okay. And here they are. And here's the Veterans Benefits Fairness and Transparency Act here. Okay. And Elaine Luria popped up here. She's a congresswoman here out of Virginia. Tells you what district she's in as well. Okay. And I'm not going to read this in its entirety. I want you to go ahead and read it. But you can see here things are working. Things are happening. Okay. For us. All right. Andy Barr and Elaine are on our side. They are on our side. Okay. And you can find more information about them here. Okay. And the bills and the things that they represent and the things that they are supporting. Okay. Here's all the bills that they're supporting. Okay. So these are the people that we need to start electing back into office or keeping in office. Okay. These are the people. Okay. Now, I want to go a little bit more into detail here. And this, of course, shows you that Congress passes the sweeping veterans bill. Okay, here. Congress also passed it. Now it's waiting in the Senate. Okay. And I'm not going to read all this in its entirety, but I just want to let you guys know and gals know that we must stay vigilant and pay attention to what is going on. Here's the date here, April 8th of 2021. Okay. And this is a current date. Okay. We have to be paying attention to who our representatives are. Okay. Now I'm going to go back here. Okay. And I'm going to show you all. Okay. This is something that every veteran, every soldier, and every civilian that is in the United States of America needs to understand. Okay. Here's the United States House of Representatives. Okay. And here's the House explained. Branches of government. Read it. Legislative, executive, judicial. Understand it and read it to its entirety. You have the legislative process. Okay. You have to understand how laws are made in order to vote on them. Okay. Here's bills and resolutions. Okay. Read it in its entirety. You'll understand exactly where I'm coming from and what I'm saying here. Okay. Read all of this. If you are interested and you are very determined and dedicated to making a change in this great nation, okay, read it in its entirety so that you have an understanding of it. So that when you go to that voting booth and you vote, you know exactly who you're voting for. You know exactly who stands for you. Okay. This is what change is about. This is where change will occur. But you have to have an understanding of who those officials are that are representing us, you, your family, your friends, your loved ones. Okay. Read it in its entirety. Okay. Let's move on. Okay. I'm only going to the important stuff here. All right. So here is the Veterans Benefits Fairness and Transparency Act explained. Okay. And this is a short title for it. Okay, here's all the actions that have been taken up to this point on the bill. Okay, it was introduced in the House by Andy Barr and Elaine on April of 2020. Okay, referred to the House on the same day. The committee held hearings. Okay, by the Committee on the Veterans Affairs. Okay, and then it was referred to the Subcommittee on Disability Assistance and Memorial Affairs. Okay. Everyone, read this information in its entirety. You will have a great understanding of exactly what's going on. Okay. And here it is again, the Veterans Benefit Fairness and Transparency Act here. Here's the bill. Okay. Here's the House, the Veterans Affairs, Senate Veterans Affairs, the committee. These are the people that are looking at the bill. The latest action was in the Senate. It's currently in the Senate sitting there as of September 23rd of 2020. Okay. It was passed in the House. Okay. And here's another thing that I want everybody to pay attention to, specifically veterans. Okay. I want you to pay attention to these tabs here. Here's the actions. Okay. This is currently what is going on with that bill. Okay. And it's stuck in the Senate. Okay. Here's another tab that I want everybody to pay attention to, the co-sponsors. Okay. These are the people that are representing that bill as well and are supporting that bill along with Andy Barr and Elaine. Okay. Look at all these officials here. Get to know them. Click on it. Find out the information on them. Okay. It'll tell you what district they're in. Okay. This guy's out of Maryland. Okay. His name is Dutch Rutzberger. Okay. These are all the bills that he stands by and he supports as well. Okay. But most importantly, he's supporting the bill that we're talking about here. And that is the Veterans Benefits Fairness and Transparency Act of 2020. Okay. These people are supporting that bill. Okay. Here's another lady that is supporting that bill as well. Highlight these people's names, research them, see what they stand for, see if they're prior service. Okay. Look at all the acts and all the bills that they're currently sitting on and trying to pass within the Senate and in the House. These are the people that we need to be fighting for. These are the people that we need to be keeping in office. Okay. These are the people that we need to be keeping in office so that we can get the benefits that we're so rightfully deserved. And that is ours. Okay. And you can find all this information fairly easy. It's here. Everything is here. Everything is laid out. Okay. Everything is laid out for us to understand and for us to know who our representatives are. Okay. Very important. Very important. And I don't know how much more or what more I can say about this, but these people are co-sponsors for the Veterans Benefit Fairness and Transparency Act. Okay. So when you're going to your voting booth in 2024 to make that selection, okay, know that you can go and research and see who is standing for our rights and who is believing in us and keeping us safe within the law structure, within the judicial system. Okay. Here's all the related bills to the Veterans Benefits and Fairness and Transparency Act. Okay. Know about these. These can also help. There's programs that are out there that can help. But we must know who these representatives are that are supporting these programs so that we can vote for them and keep them in office. Do you understand what I'm saying here, veterans? We got to stop placing the blame on the VA. And we have to start placing the blame on ourselves for not doing our homework. Okay? When you go to those polls to vote and you're just scratching boxes after you vote for the president and the vice president, not knowing who your district leaders are, your commissioners are, or your mayors are, your senators are, you're doing yourself a disservice by not knowing who your elected officials are that are protecting us, that are protecting veterans' rights. You understand what I'm saying, people? Know who your elected officials are and what they stand for. All right. Here's another page that I want you to bookmark. It's called LegiScan.com. Okay. And it gives you a lot more about the bill once it gets to Congress. Okay. 6493 is the bill for veterans. Here. This is the bill. This is the bill for the Veterans Benefits Fairness and Transparency Act of 2020. This is the bill here as it goes through Congress. Okay. It tells you who's voting on this bill. Okay. Introduced on April 14, 25% progression, died in committee. What does that mean? Died in committee. Okay. So it's stuck. Nothing is coming of it right now. And the VA has total control of the DBQs at this moment because it has not been passed into law to release those DBQs back to the veterans and their third-party practitioners and physicians to be able to fill out. Okay. All the information is here. Okay. And I want you to read through this information to see exactly what's going on because all the information is here. Okay. Look at this. Tells you about the different ones here. Okay, let's go back. But this is what I want you to read, and this is specific to the Veterans Benefits Fairness and Transparency Act of 2020. Okay. Title here. Sponsors here. Okay. Here's another sponsored here. Okay. Read it in its entirety. Find out what is going on in the House. What is going on in the Senate? Who is denying these bills? Okay, here's a summary. Again. Okay. I'm just trying to educate everybody. I really, really am. Okay. And there's a video that Andy Barr did. I believe it's in front of the Senate. And I want you to take a real good look at this video. And you let me know what you think. And who's really standing up and fighting for us. Also, for all of you people out there that don't know who your senators are, here's a map. Okay. Bookmark this page. Okay. Here's a map to tell you what your senators or who your senators are for the state. There's 2 senators per state. Okay. So if you don't know who your senators are, this is a place that you can go to find it and research it and find out who these individuals are and what they stand for. All right. And once you find your senator out, you can then go back to the congress.gov website. Okay. All right. Let me go back here and find it here. All right. And you could put their name in here and find out all the bills that they stand for and what they are representing and who they represent and whose side they're on. The information is here, people. We have to start, veterans we have to start victimizing ourselves and finding this information out. Okay. It's right there in front of us. Okay. Here's another one here for elected officials. Okay. This is Florida. All right. Look at all the elected officials here. It was last updated March of 2026, 2021. That's last month. Okay. So this is very, very up to date information. Okay. So, but you have to know who your officials are. Here's your national officials here, right? Okay. And then you have your United States senators. Look at this. United States senators, United States representatives, United States Representatives District 8, District 9, District 10. Okay. State officials. Okay. Look at this. Look at all this information. You can find this for any state. State senators. Okay. State Senator District 11, State Senator District 13, 15, state representatives. See, we have to know who these people are. And you can find all that on the Congress.gov website. Or you can just Google this information and find out who your elected officials are for your state. Very important that you know this. Because these people are making decisions for you and your family. And if they're not for veterans or if they're not for the people, then they don't need to be in there. And they're going to make bad decisions for you and I. So to behoove you to understand this information in its entirety. Okay? United States House of Representatives, understand the process. Okay? Understand who your elected officials are for your state, your congressmen, your congresswomen, your senators. Okay? Understand who those people are. Okay? And what they represent and what districts they're in so that you can stand by them and fight and reelect these officials and put them back into office. Okay? Go to your Congress.gov website, highlight this and bookmark it. Understand all of the different bills that are being put to pass so that we can get some kind of justice here. Okay? Know where it's hung up, whether it's hung up in the House, Congress, the Senate. Okay? Find those people who are responsible for denying these bills and keeping us continually in the dark. Know who your co-sponsors are for these bills so that you can vote for them again and again and again. Okay? You have to understand this information, people. This is very critical and very important that we start understanding this so that we can continue the fight. Okay? Because the VA is not on our side. And the more and more that we become ignorant to the fact and turn a blind eye away from and continue to to blame ourselves or to put yourself as a victim, the more they'll continue to walk on top of us and make laws that are against us and not for us. So in closing, please watch this video in its entirety. I'm going to put all of the links here in the description below. Do your research. Okay, read about these different bills and so forth. Here's one right here. I almost forgot to show you guys where all the bills are located. Okay, I have to find it again here. And I'm going to show you this. This is very, very important. Okay, here it is. Okay. These are where all the bills are located. Okay. These are all the IAVA legislative victories for us passed by the House. Okay. These are all what we're fighting for. Okay. Bookmark this page so you can see exactly what is in the works. Okay. These are bills that still have to be passed in the Senate. Some of these I think have been passed. Let me see. Not too sure. Okay. And you can see here's the Haven Act. I believe this one was passed through the Senate, and the S, I believe, stands for the Senate. And let's go ahead and see. Introduced in the Senate. So it hasn't been passed. It's been introduced. So once it's been introduced, it has a number here. So know what your acronyms are. Okay. And here's the co-sponsors of the Haven Act. Okay. And again, this is something that is something that's going to help veterans. Okay. And if you don't know what the Haven Act is, you can read about it here. Here's a summary of it. Okay. So in closing, please, people, look at this information for what it's worth. Don't be a victim and take action today. I'm going to be putting up a petition and a website for my channel so that I can get more people to sign off on these petitions so that we can take it to the Senate and ask them what's going on with these bills. Why aren't you passing these bills? If there's things that are holding them up, let us know what these things are so that we can, iron them out and get to the meat and potatoes of this whole thing so that we can get these bills passed. But anyway, I don't want to hold this video any longer. If you like what you saw today, please remember to comment, subscribe, and share this YouTube video. I'm your host, Gix. Peace, love, and harmony in 2021. And I'm out. Peace.